do, I want to just throw the link out to my
Yeah, I just hit the live button. We're live, man. We're just bombing in here, man. Freestyling it up.
yeah, I
Davey,
go,
Davey,
go ahead.
Davey's my go-to guy for the current events type thing. So you had to pick your brain. What do you think about the Trump thing? Without spending too long on it,
Okay, staged, um,
obviously.
obviously, but I think staged to keep him in relevance. I kind of look at what they did in 2016, where it was like, oh, look how much they hate him, look how much, whatever the narrative was around him. His thing is divisiveness. That's why they wanted him in there in the first place, to divide people. But it's a thing of keeping him in the headlines 24/7, and he's really been kind of quiet. So I think they just needed something to, maybe peek back.
And and the DA is a black guy, right? And it feeds that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it's New York, so it's
And
expected.
then okay, and then kind of piggybacking off of see this one's weird now. I can't hear my voice in my own headphones like with the regular mic, but it's okay. How
I
does
didn't
the
know.
audio sound to the chat? Let us know if someone needs to come up or down. But did you see the thing in Tennessee where there was like three legislators up to get
Dude,
or
you're
like
the
House of
second person.
Representative?
You're the second person that brought that up to me, and I'm just like, I don't follow those kind of things because I
It
just
was just like
assume.
pushed to my phone. That's the only reason I heard of it. And like a quick overview of it, I'm definitely didn't do a deep dive in it, but it was something along the lines of like these people, I think it was last week, what they did was they interrupted the house or something like a house session or whatever to demand control on like assault rifles or something. So then what they did is they put these people up on the chopping block today and they needed a 2/3 majority vote to kick them out, and two of the three got kicked out and one barely survived the vote. But of course two of the two that left were black men, and then the one that stayed was a dem it was a white woman, but she barely stayed by the skin of her teeth. So of course that's a big part of the narrative.
Yeah, like someone else explained it to me exactly how you just explained it, and I was just like, just the revolving door. So if they have to replace them, it's just going to be the same people pushing the same shit, which they really don't even get pushed through. It's just ideas that get pushed out there. They have a lot of things to, like, if we just wanted to talk about guns really quick, like, I'm at the point where, like, Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence, Constitution, like, I just don't even care about them anymore. There would be no gun laws. There would be no background checks if those things actually meant anything. So I think where they're at now is more using your devices against you to try to take your guns from you, through
Like,
biometrics,
okay.
through, um, we could talk about the TikTok thing a little bit if you wanted to.
I don't know much about it. Fill me in.
Yeah, so they're calling it a TikTok bill, but TikTok's not really, it's not mentioned in the bill. It's really called the Restrict Act, and what it's going to do. It's a very intrusive thing. You would kind of compare it to maybe a Patriot Act, like a cyber Patriot Act. But if they can just say, "Oh, China bad, TikTok bad," and TikTok's not even mentioned in the bill, but people will just think China spying on us is so bad, even though they're spying on us with their social media apps, that people will just go for it.
But it's just a catch-all for any social media, basically.
It's a catch-all. First, they want to use it for any foreign site. So this could, like, affect you, even if you're using a VPN. It could affect you if you're using a site, say, that you think is out of the US, but they could be using something third party from another country. This could affect that. It basically just gives them authority over all forms of your communication, domestic, abroad, and then grants powers to, like, enforce measures to address what they call risks to national security. And they also add in, like, it's not just past or what you're doing currently, they're also going for, like, future things that you could do. So it has that pre crime element to it, wrong thing, pre thought ideas to it. There's fines involved. There's jail time involved. Um, it has a huge budget. You also, it's got immunity from freedom of information, so you can't even look into what they're tracing on you. So it's a pretty sweeping bill that really has nothing to do with
So
TikTok.
this thing is just proposed. It's not passed yet, right?
It's just proposed. It's just proposed.
Is it like? Does it sound like it would have a good chance to pass?
I think so because you got to look at it twofold, or three really. Um, First, just TikTok bad because it's associated with China. They'll act like they're doing a good thing by saying China can't spy on you, even though all they want, and they already got it. TikTok already gave it to them like 2 months ago. They gave them, here's all the data that we're collecting. Here, we'll give it to you, the US. So they already have that. And then you also have it from the US company's standpoint. TikTok's doing so well, beating out Instagram, Twitter. It's the most popular addictive app there is. So they would love to get that off the market. So, I mean, it's a very easy one to attack.
Real quick, we're gonna go back to TikTok in 1 second. I want to say what's up to Big Drink T. I was doing a commission for him. I haven't hit him back. I'm sorry, dude. I passed the drawing part off to my wife, and we've been so busy with the kids. And then he texted me what's up with it last night, and I meant to text him back. Still, I'm the worst at like texting back. And then I went to text my daughter today, and
No.
I opened it up. I was like, shit, I didn't text you back. So, so my bad, dude.
Left
But
mine green.
I'm gonna I'll talk to my wife again and see where she's at with that because I wanted her to do the drawing. She's good at it. But back to the TikTok thing on Benton's stream today. I don't know if you know about this, or I don't know if he pulled this number out of his ass or what, but he said like the average adult spends 4 hours. The users of it spend 4 hours a day on TikTok. Does that sound right?
It's very addictive, and women especially, and kids especially. Yeah, it's
And
super.
Coomers, it looks like a Coomer app to me.
Yeah, it's super addictive, and the algorithms they have are better than Instagrams. They're better than
It gives you way
Snapchat.
more like subscribers and like likes and shit, right?
Yeah, but it's like really good at, like, say you like a specific thing. Like, it's really good at having 1,000 quick videos to just keep hammering you, and you're just mindlessly clicking through. But it's no different spy wise or data wise than any other, either government backed social media, government created social media, or co opted social media. So that whole thing of like, we're protecting you from, them stealing your data. It's like, well, you're stealing the data already. So the main point is it's TikTok's not mentioned in this bill. They're just calling it the TikTok
They're
bill.
using that for like the headlines and to get support behind it, basically.
Yeah, because there's a big US, like, they, if this was like something out of Israel, it wouldn't matter. But it's China. If it was China or Russia, things like this, it's like, oh, they're the worst. They're terrible people. What could they do with your data? Oh my God. It's like, well, it's already out there. So I don't see the difference of China having it. Plus, they signed a deal with our government that gives us the TikTok data. So they're not going to ban TikTok. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
But this legislation could go through. And there's also the idea of, you swing for the fences with everything you want in there. Maybe they don't pass it, but you get 50% of it through, and then you just keep coming back and getting more and more
Chipping away at you, at your rights.
privileges at this point.
Yeah. What about Legend was asking us to cover the Bud Light,
I
the
don't want to get you a strike, so
the Troon,
yeah, I don't want to give you.
Troon juice.
If people watch me, they know my take on what I think should happen to that group of people. Um, I just think it's hilarious that
You
people
say you
care.
love them, right? You love and respect them so much,
Yeah, I love and respect them so much. I want to give them their own place to go to. Like,
and hugs for all of them.
yeah, hugs and kisses, like an Alcatraz style place, just like in the middle of nowhere, and they can do whatever they want.
But there was Bud Light that did they put one of those reversals on the can.
Yeah,
That
that was a big story, and that's also the same one that met with Joe Biden at the White House.
is that the same? I'd never even heard of that one. I mean, I'd never heard of any of them, I guess, but
Well, I just know that she was at the White House doing an interview with Joe Biden, so she's like the it was at the White House and did an interview with Joe Biden, and it's the main one that they're pushing out there now. And also, it is from TikTok.
okay. I didn't even know that. And then the other one was what Coors Light has like a pride can.
Yeah, I mean, they love that stuff. I mean, every corporation is going to give in at some point to that kind of stuff.
I mean,
Are
it
people?
seems like almost like these Troon is like could even be being used ultimately in the end to like take down a lot of these bread and circus, like the sports, because it's encroaching into sports, Olympics and everything like that. Now it's in beer and all these other things
It's like,
that
but if you already like Bud Light,
yeah.
like, does it matter that she's on the can? You just aren't going to buy that can, and you would just drink Bud Light. Like, is it that big of a deal? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not a big LeBron fan. If I see him on a Gatorade, and like, I'm still going to drink the Gatorade if I want it. Like, it doesn't.
LeBron's ball sweat flavor.
Remember when he made up that someone spray painted the N word on his?
And it's like gate. That just got pushed to my feed like a couple days ago. It's like a super old story.
That was one of the craziest stories ever. It's like, no, no, we painted over it before the cops came, but it definitely was there.
Yeah, weird.
Dude, that was one of the best. But like, I saw a liberal, like an extreme liberal, post like maybe this Troon should be like the spokesperson for like AR-15s, and see if like conservatives really get upset and won't buy any guns if they're the spokesperson. It
Shit.
was a pretty good troll.
But maybe don't you see? Maybe like these women's sports will go away now after all. After people get so sick of it, we won't have to put up with WNBA anymore. Any of this other stuff. Hopefully.
Well, the one dude they got in like Russia now, right?
Yeah, they traded her for like
Oh,
him or
she's
whatever
back.
for. Yeah, they for like some hardcore like hardcore gangster killer dude.
Nice, yeah, because we need
It was
that.
like a
We
political trade for the Brittany Grinder.
it, I don't know about
You're,
the sport. I don't know about the sports thing because, like, once you see it, a male competing against a female, where it's a physic, like not swimming or any of these like sports where a contact sport. Once you see it, like no one wants to see that. There was that UFC fighter that was
yeah, that's brutal.
that's brutal shit to watch. I don't think people can get behind that. Now, if some chick wants to hop onto an NFL field and get absolutely clocked, that'd be fun to watch. But I mean, I don't think that's going to happen.
There was also a story. I don't know if you ever watched wrestling when you were a kid, but there was the Steiner brothers, and then the one dude Rick Steiner. There was just some story where he was at some. I don't know if it was WrestleMania weekend or he's at some event, and I didn't even know about this. There's like a reverso female wrestler in like one of the minor league ones, and so it presents itself as a woman and wrestles woman, and he went off. I guess he went up and went off on her and called her all kinds of names, like for real at this like autograph signing. And
No,
the
not Rick
problem,
Steiner. He seems so sound minded.
yeah, but the problem with it now is he works for like the school district board where he lives. So these videos are going around Twitter or whatever like that, and now they want him to
Oh,
kick him
yeah.
off the board and everything. He's been on the board for like 8 years or whatever, trying to do the right thing for his community, and he just snapped on one of them.
This is like late '80s, roided out of his mind. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, what the fuck? Yeah, I remember the Steiner tag
Steiner
team,
brothers.
the Frankensteiner.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember.
The Bush, Lou
You know,
Matami's talking about Bushwhacker. One of those guys just died the other day.
you know, Ari Emanuel just bought up WWE.
Yeah, actually, that's part of my theory I talked about on the Vince McMahon and Trump parallel. So I did say that it seemed like the WWE was going with the storyline where Cody Rhodes would win the title at WrestleMania, which just happened, and I said that would go along with Trump or whatever. and that didn't happen. But if you look at what happened, now they'd have Cody coming out. He didn't win, and then Brock Lesnar turned on him. So now he's got to overcome all these trials to try to get back. They're building this guy up as like the face of the company. So then he's got to overcome all these insurmountable odds to try to get back to the championship match again. And that would go with this Trump arraignment thing that's going on right now too. He's kind of like the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Aryan or whatever that I think they're trying to like have a parallel with Donald Trump against the guy named Roman Reigns. That's the long reigning, champion.
I listened to Nightwave on Monday, so he's into wrestling, and he was telling the whole story of like, I mean, if you see like, because he showed the clip of Cody Rhodes coming. I know nothing about wrestling, but he said it looked like they basically told him for sure you're winning, and then when he showed up that night, they switched it on him.
That's basically what it sounds like.
Yeah, like it was pretty. Like I don't even follow it.
The fans thought he was going to win, and he's super over with the fans, and it was set up for a perfect moment for him.
Yeah, but they've carried Roman Reigns basically the whole time. I mean,
he used to suck. Now he's great now. He used to be awful.
Yeah, I can't watch it. It's tough. It's tough.
Oh, this is Jax. I thought this was Tommy. He says you got to watch AEW. I'm in Jacksonville, right where AEW is. I don't really watch it. I just watch the clips on YouTube. I don't got no 3 hours to be watching a Raw for 3 hours.
The Ari Emanuel, he was the one, just connection to Trump. He was the one inserted into the Kanye West stuff.
What was his connection to Trump then?
Well, the connection was Kanye to Trump, but
how is he connected to Kanye? I don't know how
he's connected to Kanye. So Ari Emanuel owns Endeavor. It's the biggest talent agency. He's very powerful. He was the guy, as soon as Kanye made a comment, basically just came out. He had a whole article that was dedicated to him in a major publication that basically said every company needs to drop him, and within 2 days he was dropped from every company.
Okay, so Ari's the one that said that?
Yeah, obviously he bought the UFC in 2021 for $4 billion at 12 million.
So now he's paying $9 billion for WWE.
That's what it was evaluated as. So it was a $23 billion merger.
Combined.
So UFC is actually higher. It's at 12.
Yep. So that's what he said when they said he's paying too much for WWE. They said the same thing about UFC.
Yeah. And then there's only a few people from UFC that can make that crossover, but I think it's good for the UFC, for the global audience of WWE, if they get hooked on the UFC, vice versa.
I think you'll see too. You'll see, like, if Conor McGregor ever comes back, he'll come over to WWE Raw to promote his fight. Maybe he'll be in the corner of somebody or whatever. I think it'd be easier. And then if Brock ever wants to go back to UFC, those guys can jump back and forth. I've actually had a theory that I've had on the record for a long time, and we'll see if it ever comes out, that I believe Vince McMahon was actually a small percentage silent owner of UFC, especially back in the day. And I believe that's how CM Punk and Brock Lesnar were able to kind of go back and forth between them. And I think they don't want to disclose that he was part owner, because then it brings like shadiness to it. You know what I mean? But I believe he was an investor.
That's not out of the question. I can only tell you that Vince took a really hard look at it when they were selling it to partner up with Ari and Endeavor and all of that stuff. And one of the main reasons that publicly he said he wouldn't do it is he doesn't like the idea of not controlling the outcome. And at that point, it wasn't like the UFC is now profit wise. Obviously, he would have loved to been a major part of it, but I think there's a mutual respect between him and Dana, and they just kept it separate. But yeah, he could have had a small percentage for sure.
It's so funny to me to also see his new look, Vince. He's so old, and he's leaning into the villain look here now.
Dude, when I saw that, I only saw an image, so I'm like, this has got to be a fucking meme. Like,
dude, he looks like this literally looks like a mask, though. Look at the big ears, the gullet thing over the neck.
Yeah, and wasn't he just facing like some like major like sexual allegations like and that's just gone now?
Yeah, it's so he stepped down. He faced sexual harassment or whatever. There was some whatever the thing was, and then it came out. They did some digging, and it came out he paid all kinds of money to women all throughout the years using WWE's money, like the company's money, not his own money. So he paid these women hush money, just like Trump. So there's this archetype parallel between him and Trump.
I
And so
mean,
what? So he basically stepped down just to kind of let the heat clear. He came back to say, he said, I'm just going to come back. I'm not going to get involved with the creative, the making of the matches or anything. I'm just here to help facilitate the sale. Paid back everything he paid out of the company to these women. So he paid out $21 million, I believe, out of his own pocket, paid back into the company before this sale, gave himself a brand new contract before the sale, something like 2 years. It was like 175% raise. I don't remember the exact number. And then it's also like if you fire me for in this time, it's like a $5 million cash out or something like that. So then what he does is he takes over the show after he says he wasn't going to do the creative. So like you said, they told that guy he's going to lose the night of it. That's Vince getting his hands involved after
I love
Triple
it.
H. Triple H was running it, and then so it seems like he's almost trying to do it as bad as he can for as much as they'll let him until they yank the rug on him again, because then he gets another huge payout. He gets the full contract payout plus like 5 million or something. And
I don't I don't
Fire
want to live.
Vince is trending on Twitter because the fans hate it.
I think it's awesome. I don't want to live in a world where Vince isn't sexually harassing women. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just wouldn't be good. Like,
He had the story. The main allegation was he had this like paralegal that had basically it wasn't even a job. She would just show up every day. She had an office, and he was just paying her, and it was just like a sex toy or something for him.
I'm down. I mean, I'm fine with it. I mean, if they made money, fuck it.
But he paid it all back, got his 9 billion. But he's like, I covered it before. I don't remember the exact details. He owns the most amount of shares that no one else can even own those types of shares of the company. And then through the sale, somehow he gets even more shares that are like these special A class shares. And then he retains the rights to his life story and all his intellectual property like that. So if they ever make a movie of him, but everyone for WWE, no one can own their song. You can't own your name, nothing like that. But Vince owns his entire life story.
Yeah, it's like
Genius.
who's one of the major ones that wanted their like name and likeness back? But
Well,
yeah, it's like
Hulk Hogan's got a movie coming out too with the Thor dude's going to play him.
that should be great,
Look at this dude, man.
dude. That's a wild look. That's a wild look.
Try to wait till they get to the close up of where's the close up. Hilarious looking.
I mean, that's a bold move going with that stash at that age. Fucking that died. I mean, that's bold.
Also, they compared it to Walt Disney when he sold Epcot Center to the Florida. He was selling them on it. He was super old like Vince, and he dyed his hair and came out with the mustache and everything to get
Oh
that.
yeah, there. Yeah, I see that.
That was kind of one of the comparisons out there.
Yeah, no, I see that.
Hilarious though.
I mean, you can see the injections and the fucking
Oh yeah. Now
and the,
we'll see if Trump can now come out with a mustache. That's what I want to see next. Let's give Trump a stash.
I don't think it, dude.
Okay,
I don't.
what's the deal then with Trump with the have you followed that too with the I keep seeing all this like turmoil in his marriage and all these stories they bring up.
I mean, I think that's been a story since this. I mean, this one was 2016 that they're supposedly arresting him on now, which is like, I mean, that was just like a photo op. Like, I'm just going to New York. They're not going to give me a mugshot. I'm not getting fingerprinted. I'm walking in. I'm walking out. I already got a speech planned for tonight. Like, I don't know the whole marriage thing. Who knows if the marriage is even real from the get
Yeah.
go? Like,
Who knows if she's even really a woman?
it's just a celebrity thing, you know. It's just like I do think he will be the selected choice, though. Like, I do think they'll make him the president again. Like, I think they like that divisiveness. I think they like that. What I think they were doing with that is like, okay, let's test the waters here. He hasn't been on Twitter. hasn't been like a major story around him. Like, let's see if the passion's still there. Will somebody go out and break some windows? Will somebody, So I think they're kind of testing that right now because they're not going to do Biden again. DeSantis kind of dropped off. They got to select somebody soon on who they're going to pick, and then try to make a rivalry so people get hooked on it.
Do
I
you
mean,
know the
I
Do you
don't
know the
vote.
past of Melania?
No, no, I
I
don't.
I believe, man, I don't want to talk out of my ass, but it's been so
Wasn't
long
she a
since I
quote
looked at.
model?
Yeah, but I thought she was involved in the past with like some like prince of some like small nation or some shit like that way. And I can't really remember it right now. It's been so long since I looked into it. But I feel like here's my prediction, which you guys should know when I predicted it's not going to come true. My predictions never do. But I feel like they want Trump coming back in and become like the praying president or trying to help lead some kind of Christian revival. So I feel like they're kind of working up this marriages on the rocks turmoil. And then when he comes more out and with like Christianity, if he does, I feel like they'll kind of say that, though he'll say, Christianity and doing this helped save my marriage and where everything's good now. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, all I remember is she was like a quote Slovenian model, and then I mean, I think she's been with Trump since like early 2000s, or not with him, but whatever. Just they've been that couple since like the mid, like early 2000s.
QAnon says Trump's still running everything. That's what Bernie said.
So those are the ones I was playing. Like that's the video I did. I just played the videos of these retards, like you know, comparing him to Jesus Christ because he got arrested on Holy Tuesday. Like, just like the most retarded stuff you'll ever hear. Like, God is speaking to me saying, like, Trump has to be arrested so they can arrest everybody else. I mean, I can't believe that's still a movement, but that really shows you like an intelligence operation that really got to people. That in 2023, people are still talking about that these high powered people are going to get arrested, and they actually believe it.
If you look at it too, though, you could say I could kind of see where they're coming from because you could say if you look at the things that Biden's done some, like the repeal of Roe versus Wade and everything like that.
Yeah, but they're not coming at Trump for like any like real shit. Like this is a payoff to
I
some
know,
poor.
but I'm saying like the people that do believe that Trump's still in charge, I'm saying they could point to things like Biden's repealing Roe versus Wade, when meaning like it's not actually Biden, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
there could
yeah.
be some
No,
figurehead,
I
but
get what you're saying, but it's like to me they just love like you know opening that box of cereal. There's a decoder ring in there, and like they hear the term sealed indictment. They have no idea what it means, but it sounds cool and clandestine, but they really have no fucking clue what they're talking about. To me, it's just a stolen like David Wilcox idea from like 12 years ago, and they kind of repackaged it. Once you get into profits and people telling you they're having fever dreams and that's what's going to happen, like you need to step away and think about what you're doing with your life.
yeah, I think it's silly, but I do think that he will. I'm with you. I think he will be the selection. The people still love him, man. We're here in Florida, everywhere. People still have the flags on the trucks. They're still driving around with the Trump flag. They got they have Trump DeSantis flags and stuff in people's house too. It's not even like an official ticket or like their stickers on cars. Like that's not even a real thing yet. I mean, it might be, but right now it's just like a fantasy.
Dude, and I was saying this on my stream earlier, and it like obviously this isn't a guy that any of us like or agree with, but like Alex Jones was even saying, like, you go to Mar-a-Lago, you go to these events, it's one of the biggest cult scenes you'll ever see. Like these, it's like going to like one of the churches where the guy like touches you and you faint. Like these people are so insane, like the way they look up to this guy. So yeah, he's definitely got. That's why I said I think they wanted this arrest out there to see if the passion was still there. If like this gets people riled up and like, yeah, they're all on him. They want him back.
If everything is similar to WWE too, it just kind of gives them a storyline to run with until it's actually time to start running and campaigning and stuff. Just he's got to overcome some odds and everything. Some
Yeah, I'd like
killer.
to. Yeah, I'd like to see if like Trump Hillary again would probably be the biggest matchup they could have. I don't know what they do.
I think Trump Obama. That's what I thought it would be last time. Trump Michelle.
Yeah, that'd be nice, man, to
That's what
see.
actually Days of Noah predicted that on his community tab. I was like, man, I predicted that a few years ago, but it didn't come true on the last one. But maybe this one.
Dude, because he's definitely not above calling out the tranny thing.
Oh yeah, that's what would make it. I could even see. I could see Mike. Yeah, here's the comment right here. I could see her coming out and admitting it. And admitting, yeah, and I could see even the left still being like, yeah, no big deal. Your whole life was a lie. Everything you said was a lie, but no big deal. Just to
It
show
wouldn't be
you
a
like
big
how
deal.
absurd it is. To them, it wouldn't at all.
It would probably be better.
You're right. It probably would. They'd say, oh,
But
he had to like hide
I
his
was,
shame or whatever so he didn't get attacked.
yeah, I was just so worried, and I wanted to protect my family, the threats I would get, and especially if they know that TBE logo. Shout out to TBE,
Yeah,
wherever you
he's mad at me. Toilet bowler. We're having some infighting.
are.
The house that Chalk built. No, I'm just kidding. But he's mad because I made fun of his kid. But here's the kicker: he doesn't even have a kid. Shout out to
Reddington,
Toilet Bowler.
Reddington said, "Is Biden dead?"
Probably.
There's so many different scenarios. I mean, if he's alive, you only see the real one every once in a while when he's bumbling around. But yeah, there's different versions. There's masked up Biden. There's deep fake. There's AI Biden. There's like 8 different Bidens. There's look-alike. But is he dead? I can't say
Bo
100%.
Biden in a mask is one of them.
Yeah.
Have you seen what was the thing that came out today about AOC crying about Clarence Thomas? Did you see that?
No, but I do like AOC.
What do you like about her? What are your 2 favorite things about her?
Her tits.
There was a story about I
I
just
think she's a
saw it.
good actress. I think she's a really good actress. Like the
I saw the
AOC.
headline said she was mad or she's calling for his impeachment, Clarence Thomas, on the Supreme Court because something about I could pull it up here, but something about he took like he accepted plane like travel flights and other gifts or something from some Republicans or something. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm gonna stop holding this thing. I'm gonna clip this to my shirt. I just kind of like holding it up. Can you still hear me? Let me see. Are you looking it up too? Let's see.
No, I was saying someone said no R words. I'm saying I'm not giving him a strike, guys. I already gave him one.
No what words?
R, no hard R's.
Oh, okay.
Like
Okay, here it is.
I wasn't even thinking about it. They're trying to make me. You guys are bad.
What's with these? Clarence Thomas must be impeached over revelations of mega donor gifts.
I just think she capitalizes on any kind of attention she can get. So like her being from NYC, that going down in NYC, she gets to go after like the politicians that showed up to protest for Trump, and then
Okay,
she parlays it into something else.
here it is. It says private jet travel, super yacht island hopping, stays at a private resort. For decades, Clarence Thomas accepted luxury gifts from a billionaire. It appears he broke the law. Now, who's this Indian behind him? Who's this engine? Is that Tecumseh behind him in this picture? UBT might know. But then, yeah, AOC's out there crying about that. Did you see the story that was out there, too, that AOC got caught with a burner on Twitter?
Not surprising. She's good on the Twitter game, man. She got a bunch of followers.
She got caught. Her name was something demon. Look at this. This looks
Why
like
they gotta use that picture?
yeah, no, it looks like some casting couch or something.
I wish. Been searching for that porn for last couple of years.
What was it called? It's called I just want to say the name. Zaza Demon. Zaza. Zaza Demon. They said it was replying in first person to someone that was talking to AOC, and then it deleted everything, and then got called out and deleted the whole account. Zaza Demon. Marjorie Taylor Greene was on her ass.
Oh yeah, because Marjorie Taylor Greene was like, New York City smells this and that. It's like, well, you showed up and like tried to get on a bullhorn for Trump and like got shouted down by fucking the most unfunniest guy out there, Michael Rappaport. So like that was a pretty bad point. Did you see that clip?
No. You're talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene got shouted down by him?
Dude, she's fucking all right. He's not funny. He's terrible, obviously.
No, he's not funny at all.
He had a funny fucking moment. Like,
here, I'll pull it up in a second here. Let me just show. This was the main thing though that was causing the uproar, and then we'll pull up that other one. Who's Matt Walsh? You probably know who that. I don't even know who that is. Do you know who that is?
Matt Walsh? Yeah. He works for Ben Shapiro.
Oh, okay. It says he thought the trans movement is the most evil thing in the country, and he's going to determined to oppose it till his last breath. And then that Zaza demon said, "You are a hateful little freak. I can't wait until you piss off a trans person that is as unhinged as you claim to say they all are."
I'm good with it.
That was the big like, ooh, we caught her.
I'm good with it, man. Let me just answer this guy in the chat.
What's he saying?
It's all good, brother. A friend of mine was on Alex Stein's show, so they're wondering what I think, and like, I'm happy for my friend, but I disagree. Oh, is this,
Davey? I'll never betray you and go on Alex Stein, Davey.
It's not a betrayal. That's what I'm saying.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Go back to the farm, you animal! There's nothing for you at the sanctuary! You filthy animal! You QAnon lunatic! Hit her with the space lasers! Blast her with the fucking space lasers! Get the fuck out of New York, you racist, sick, filthy, infected animal! Get the fuck out!
Yeah, that guy's so gay.
I like hit her with the space lasers.
She was also on American Idol. Do you remember that?
Yeah. People try to tell me that's not her, but it's her.
Yeah, they claim it's not her.
I'm like, that's her.
That's 100% her, and they just don't admit it because it's an actor-based reality. This blows the whole thing out of the water. Is that these are just people they find, and then they play roles, and sometimes multiple roles. So this lady here, come on,
dude, I've been doing this thing where like I catch these ads, and I'm like, I'll remember that ad, and then I forget it the next day. But I've seen some wild ones lately that I've been trying to save.
There she is, shaking her ass for you, Davey. That's her, 100%.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Watching. How are you? Good. Okay, what do you do?
I'm in marketing for cheese. I sell provolone and mozzarella.
If you had to...
Exact same voice, even. There's no way that's not her. Sarah Sugarman, Stephanie Sugarman.
I don't know why they're trying to claim it's not her when it's so fucking obvious.
Yeah, it's definitely her. 100% it's her. I think they don't want you to just think about it for a while and say that, okay, it's probably just an actress that does whatever they tell them to do.
Who's this Negro?
I'll show you who he is here. Hold on. Look at him. He's checking that out right there. He's like,
damn, he likes that. He likes that.
Like, hey, man, fuck QAnon, but what's up, MGT?
Whenever American Idol started, that's season 1 there.
He's like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Snow Bunny.
Yeah, go play in the snow. Get that pipe.
That's definitely her, though. The age would pretty much match up. The voice matches up the same. The thirst for attention.
The insanity.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all there. It's all there.
No, they're saying, you don't want to talk shit about Mersh was on. Is that who was on Alex Stein?
Yeah, but like I don't get this thing. Why
watches Alex Stein?
I know, but like I don't get like why would I talk shit about someone that's my friend?
Yeah, why would he care really?
Like he's cool with Alex Stein. My criticism of Alex Stein has nothing to do with him being cool with Alex Stein. Like everyone always wants an infighting between us. It's like they're major. Like they can't wait. Like it's gonna be some big throwdown or something, and we just laugh.
Come to Hollywood.
Well, that means...
I think
that's a prerequisite.
So good, though.
Yeah, we know. She's
Back in the day when they had the pants with no pockets on the back.
Remember these crazy
before the pants that the girls wear up to here on their chest nowadays. It makes their ass look long and
these shows were crazy once you think about it. Fucking
Gotta be.
Seacrest has been around for 30 years at this point. Just
I mean, is that how long that shit's been on?
Nah, probably like 20, but still.
But yeah. I know. I remember years ago. I can't even remember. Years ago, they were like, "Yeah, this is the 20th season of Survivor." I was like, 20 years, it's just on, and it's still going to this day. I think that shit's
you think
probably
about
like 30 years.
You think about like Rogan, Fear Factor, how long ago that was? Like all those shows, man, all that reality TV shit that took over.
It seems like these actors, though, they have like a contract.
You can take that off the screen.
No, my bad. I watch Alex Stein. That show's cool. Hilarious. I don't think he's funny at all.
Yeah, he stages a lot of protests. That's for sure.
He's like Owen Benjamin level of funny. I think he thinks he's funny.
Yeah, he's like a poor man's Crowder. Like just terrible. He cross dresses. I mean, it's bad. It's bad.
He like wants to be like famous so bad, you can tell. Well, he was on a reality show too.
He would have been so much better off using the organic growth he had instead of going to Blaze TV and taking a very small contract, and the numbers are way down. It's just a really bad decision, but it's not my business. Whatever.
I did watch the one. What was this called? Alpine here might know. It said VH1 reality shows were funny. I did watch the one where they had like Ron Jeremy was in the house, and it was with what's her name? Andrea Lowell was there. It's all these like B level, C level actors and stuff. It was super funny though.
I mean, VH1 had some fucking extreme shows. They had the Flavor Flav. They had the fucking. I mean, they had some extreme ones. Just get washed up celebrities in a house together, basically.
Pimp on a Blimp, hilarious. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about this retard anymore.
Well, he is a retard.
I'm triggered.
Where's Toilet Bowl Earth, man? I want him to come on so we can squash the beef.
Yeah, what happened, man?
I told you I made fun of his kid, but he
doesn't.
What
did you exactly call the kid?
Okay. Only reason I said it is because it rhymed. And I like his wife. His wife seems like a great woman. And I just said little shit skin 10 is coming out soon or something like that. But he doesn't even have a kid and he's not praying. And this is the guy that says anything to anybody, the most craziest shit ever. And then all of a sudden I went too far. I'm like, come on, dude. Obviously it's fucking the legend was razzing him hard too.
Yeah, I missed the whole thing. I just saw like obviously BB quit after the complete gun debacle, but I was surprised to see 10.
Yeah, I don't know why it's a pattern with him though. He spirals out, then he comes back.
Yeah, so I think tomorrow night I'm going to get more into the all-around surveillance that they're using to come up with threat assessment scores. I guess China would call it a social credit score, but
is this what that TikTok bill you think is targeting then?
No, I think they already have it in place on how they under Trump in like 2019, and I say under Trump just during his time, they came out with something called HARPA, which was it can use anything from like any device you have that's quote unquote smart. And it basically builds a profile on you, and they want to use that to track your neuro behavior. And if they sense or just deem that you could be a threat in the future, that would prevent you from being able to purchase a firearm and other things because they think you're on the road to a violent act.
So basically, if you log into like Poll, you can't buy a gun.
Well, a microphone could pick you up saying something out of context. All your devices together.
Speaking of that, you were talking. I was going to say this earlier too when you said you try to remember some ads to look for them. Is we were out. I needed a notary for something, and I went to I go to the post office any day anyway to mail my eBay. And so I thought there was a notary there, and there wasn't. So then we were talking about it. I'm like, where do I got to go to get a notary? And then the very next ad on YouTube was like, oh, you can become a notary and you can make this amount of money every month. You just do this course and blah, blah. Click this ad. I'm like, dude, I never heard no notary ad ever on my shit.
Well, I've been trying to catch the ones that are it looks like a person, their lips are kind of moving, but you can tell it's complete voice AI that they're using. Instead of like using the actor or paying an actor, they're using this like deep fake and voice AI to like talk to you. So I've been trying to collect them because it's like they're very small random ads with like bad technology, but I'll be like, oh, I'll remember that tomorrow. And then I wake up, I have no idea what the company was called.
It'll get better and better over time.
Yes, I was, I did a pretty deep dive into the chat bots. And
tell me about that, because I haven't even really, other than like headlines, and I've never tried to use it or anything like that. What's the?
I mean,
take on it?
it's just very, very good, deep machine learning, artificial intelligence. So it can, scrape up anything that's ever been said on the internet, and depending on the pre-biases that are put into it. So ChatGPT would be the most popular, and they're on their fourth installment of it. So it can pass the bar like quicker than 80% of any human lawyer. It can, trick captchas online to believing that it's an actual human. I saw recently that it, was able to falsely accuse a professor of sexual assault. So it's like, it's just gaining its ability to be, and I want to put quotations around smarter, because it's still not, as fully functional as I think by the time they get to Chat GPT 10, what it's going to be able to do. And you have to voluntarily interact with this thing, where other invasive methods of AI, I think, are going to be worse, like a chip or something like that, where you're get a brain chip and you're hooked up to somebody else, where you're speaking without speaking.
See, this is not true. I got to call out Illumitami here. He says Crock was like getting your information from someone who talked to someone doing. Crock was like an autist. He's a weaponized autist when it comes to like looking into this stuff. That's why I said I'll go to him rather. I don't even want to look this shit up anymore. I'll just ask.
I mean, he can do a video on it if he wants to, but like I don't understand what I just said, how that was a false thing.
Since I'm part of, I have the Google One plan. They gave me early access to their version of it. It's called Bard. And I went into it and I played with it for like 10 seconds, and I was like, okay, this is so lame. Like,
I just want to address this fucking retard really quick.
Oh, yeah, he's a dumb fuck.
Yeah, really fucking annoying. Never liked him. First time I heard him, just complete fucking retard. What I said was, they're on ChatGPT 4. That means they had 1, 2, and 3. Who are they testing it on? The people that are interacting with it. So then they're going to get to go to 5. They're going to go to 6 and try to get better and better. I don't know how you think that's some kind of misinformation or wrong, but I really don't give a fuck what you think.
He believes in the moon landing. He believes there's
oh God, Jesus,
all this fucking normie shit. That's why I started calling him Illuminormie.
Yeah, now he's going to be mad.
He believes in Elon Musk. He believes Elon Musk's like a real person.
Go on your slob panel and talk shit about me. I'll never listen to it. I don't care about you.
Yeah, Rusty, I think you're right. He just like negative attention is better than no attention. So,
well, he's going to get no attention for sure.
That's the way to deal with these trolls.
He tried to be nice in the beginning too, which is even gayer. Those are like the worst kind of people. Like, I'll be nice to him.
Wait, saw how AI did pay the guy to take and pass the test for it? What? I think it's worded weird. Can an AI pass the piss test for me? That's the real thing. When can it pass a piss test for you? That's when it will become really monetized.
That's what I was saying. It could pass the bar exam for it. I mean, like, but there's also biases that are put into these chatbots. So like a buddy of mine has one that he built, So I did a video talking about chatbots. He took the transcript from that video, fed it into the chatbot, and it gave its reaction to my video.
So it's able to like react like how the React videos are on YouTube.
It can give its opinion in many different factors. So say you own the New York Times and you want to write an article. It can write, okay, let's write an article about Kamala Harris. It can write it empathetically. It can write it, in a bad light. It can write it in any style that any journalist could write it.
And then what I talked about today on Benton's stream, so I hate to repeat myself, but in case you guys weren't there, is I think a lot of blind spot for a lot of truthers is they all love to say that the government has technology 30 to 40 years in advance, and sometimes some people will say even 100 years in advance. I don't believe that particularly, but then they get caught and they don't think that this chat GTP type technology in the military industrial complex, we're getting the consumer version. So you got to extrapolate that military industrial complex has had stuff like this for 30, 40 years, or at least 20 years, right? Because they definitely have some stuff ahead of. So then you look back at in the past, and then you can ask yourself, like, how many of these articles or how many of these ideas that we blame on like Tavistock or NGOs and stuff like that, how many of that were actually cooked up by some type of, chat GTP type bot.
Yeah, and it also gets like main players like Elon Musk to constantly comment on it. So like he gets to play the character of the guy that's warning you against AI when obviously he's for it, but he'll be like, "Oh, this is going to be the end of the world." You remember the clip back in the day where it was like, was it the witch and the sigil, and you're conjuring up demons and all of this stuff, and that was when that Gordy Rose quantum computing thing was a big thing, and they could like, remember that? It was like, those very low temperature cubes.
Yeah.
Like that was a big thing that they could conjure up demons and all of this stuff. And you got the black cube, so people instantly buy it in the truth community.
Jim Bob said, how likely is it QAnon was chat GTP? To me, I would say 95%. And I called that out from the very beginning. I'm on record. You can go on my Instagram, scroll way back. I said this is like a level of propaganda for people that know that the news is propaganda. So it's like an interactive propaganda.
Yeah, so like it just gets better as it's able to collect more data on you. And it's also making them a bunch of money. So there's really no reason for them to keep coming out with different versions and newer versions of it.
Wasn't it one of the most used sites now?
ChatGPT is very, very, very popular, but I looked into like signing into it, and they do want a lot of information about you, so I didn't make an account. Because when I did a stream on it, I wanted to like have it up and insert things, but I didn't want to make an account.
So I covered this, I'm trying to think, it was probably like 3 years ago when I was actually talking about Tartaria. I was talking about there was videos, I can't remember the name of the program now, but it was like text to image programs like 3 years ago that were making like cool looking buildings, cats, horses, like you couldn't even tell the difference, because originally it was just like people, and then it expanded to other objects. And now, that was only like 3 years ago. And now it's like text to video. You can type up an entire video that these programs will make for you. So they've been pumping hard and fast the generative AI. This is just another tool that they're going to use to take the human being's creative.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, you're at that real crossroads now of merging man with machine. Like we're like how we used to talk about it, or Nicholson used to talk about it 10 years ago. Like now we're really at that crossroads where obviously I think people have already been inserted and human testing has gone on. But yeah, I did read something earlier about the next generation of 3D virtual reality and how good they're getting with that. Even some of the, like you said, people are 25 years ahead, and this is the consumer version, but you see how some of those look very, very real. But then you get into like the WEF and what DARPA is doing, and they really want to optimize emotional regulation. They really want to like have a complete control of all of your thoughts. They want to make sure that they can monitor this through any means necessary. And that's why they use the neurobehavior monitoring through DARPA, or it's called HARPA, but it's just the health version of DARPA. And they'll use any excuse in the book. Oh, this will, if you can't see, will help you see again. If you can't walk, this is going to help. It's always about helping you. But obviously it's not. When they start talking about hacking humans, you get that little Jew Yuval Harari from the WF, like, the shit's going to be unethical as hell.
Real quick, the chat's talking about Cecil. Shout out to Cecil. We did this. EBT and I did a stream. If you missed it, go on the live tab here on this channel. Get chalked up. Jim Bob and the Machine Lies came on, and then Cecil was the star of the show. He said white people came from a planet. They're actually blue-skinned aliens. You got to watch it. That was great.
So basically, David Wilcox, Blue Avians.
It was like he tied it in somehow with the Vril, and it was great.
I don't know who he is.
You about to learn.
No.
No, it was. I'm not kidding. It was hilarious.
No, I'm just messing around. I just don't know who he is.
Yeah, the AI chat bots. EBT said, remember all the old AI. There was somebody in the chat like 6 months ago that before my wife ever cammed up, they were 100% convinced my wife was like some kind of AI Korean chat bot or something like that, going around telling everyone my wife's
that is a major step in it, where they have these AI dolls that can give quote emotions, and they even have them, as disgusting as it is, they even have AI dolls for pedophiles and stuff like this. So like, it's they're getting there on the consumer market to, one, make you merge with machines, but also just communicate with AI at all times, other than communicating with humans, and trusting in that AI, trusting in that information it's giving back to you when you ask it a question. So one of the things I thought about ChatGPT was, yes, for the most part, the masses uses Google to get their information. They use GPS to know where they're going, even if they made the trip 100 times. We're going to get to the point where it's something like a AI chatbot, where you're just asking it and you're having these conversations with a fucking machine, and you're just trusting that information that it's giving to you, even though it could have biases and lies and all of these things in between.
That's Alexa, right? It's Jarvis from Iron Man. I have it in my home. I have the Google Nest one, and you say, okay, Google this, or ask it a question and this, and it's basically your assistant in your home. And
yeah,
right now they're all women. That's what I find interesting. Alexa, the Google one, everything.
Yeah, and you can't tell them to like suck your dick or anything. They get mad.
Right.
Yeah, my girl has one at her house. I don't allow those kind of things at my house, but
which one does she have, Alexa?
Google Home.
Yeah, that's the one I have. I think
it's Google Home. It's just it's like an iPad looking.
Yeah, it's like small. That's the one I have is called a Nest. There's a few different versions of it. I just got it free for signing up for that.
It's like a pretty good sized tablet. Like, I mean, it's fine.
I think mine's like, it's pretty small. It's like a really big phone, and then it's the speaker, and it's pretty loud. I mean, it's cool to play music.
Do you need this though? Like, do you need to be like, hey Google, what's the weather? Like, did you really need that? Like, I don't know.
I like it to just play music when I'm around the house, especially with the kids. I'll say, okay, Google, do this, and then, or like a timer for cooking or whatever. It's like, okay, set this time or whatever.
No, you're correct. I don't have kids, so like
it's not that cool, and I never would have bought it, but it was kind of part of the Google One package, and I was like, well, I'll try it. It was free with it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Oh, okay, it's like, I think it's like $50 or something. I don't think it's worth $50 even. The speaker is kind of cool. It's just like a Bluetooth speaker, and not even necessarily Bluetooth. It can be used as Bluetooth, but you can just tell it to play some songs or something.
Yeah, but I do think that's where we're going, where just people are just giving their trust into these.
Well, that's the goal of Google, right? Is there's just one, and there's not millions of results. They want one answer. That's the right answer that it just feeds you. But the whole thing counts on you to trust it, like you said.
Yeah, and like it goes into the thing of them using the devices to get your neurobehavioral patterns where it's like, okay, it can hear you on that, it knows what you're asking for.
Oh yeah.
It also knows exactly where you're driving, how long it takes you, who you're hanging out with. And that's why I call it a threat assessment score, not a social credit score, because like say my phone's here, my girl phone is right here, her phone is going to tell her how much of a threat I am to her, and vice versa.
Yeah, you're fucked, buddy.
What's that?
I said you're fucked, buddy.
Yeah, she knows I'm a threat, though. I think that's why she likes me.
Yeah, see, women like that.
Yeah, they like
Look at archaics.
They like a little unhinged. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not throwing her in the van yet.
Not yet.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
the Google one I have, it says it doesn't have a camera, and I don't know if I really believe that or not, but it has this like little light sensor on it. As you get close to it, it knows to bring the screen up. But then it even tells you like it's willing to. I'm sure it does without your permission to like monitor your sleep habits and everything like that too. So even in the middle of the night, even without a camera, it's going to be able to see when you get up and move. If that is true, it doesn't have a camera. It'll know when you get up to piss and everything and log all that. So it's insane the amount of data that they want to capture on all these people. It's a profile on each person has to be insane, dude.
Oh yeah, and that's what I've been trying to cover lately of how they're collecting this data for these profiles. So it was called HARPA under Trump, and then like if you're like a conservative, you say, well, no, it's actually under Biden. It's called ARPA-H. It's the same fucking program. They just renamed it. But yeah, there was actually an Australian mayor was readying for the world's first ever lawsuit against an OpenAI for defamatory things that he says ChatGPT said about him. So if you get one of these AIs that are writing articles and it defames you, and then you're suing the chatbot, you're just kind of giving it more credence that it's real and that it's, this sentient thing when it's obviously not sentient. That's an archaic shirt right there.
That's where I got it from. Got it from the meetup. I was in a wig at the meetup and a fake mustache. I had the fake Vince McMahon mustache on. Nobody knew I was there. I'm gonna release some top secret footage soon.
Yeah, Jim Bob said the pre-crime. I mean, that's definitely a big thing. If you look at Threat Assessment Prevention Act, you look at red flag laws. Obviously, if they're monitoring the HARPA, the thing is called Safe Home, and it's literally about crimes they think you may could commit because of things you're doing online. You're prone to commit a violent act. And this was right around the time of mass shootings when Trump was saying things like, well, can't we just take the guns first and then have due process after? So like it's really something they're trying. But I think that's my hour, bro.
Okay, real quick, do you know of any type of program like this? We're talking about pre-crime and everything for you're gonna do this gun thing. Anything like this that scrapes all this nasty porn shit these people watch that to say now you're a threat, you're more likely to become like some kind of rapist or a predator out there? Have you heard of anything like that?
I'm sure they have ways that they monitor pedophiles. I don't know if they care as much when it comes to actual trafficking, though.
They just want the guns.
I don't. If you can bust an individual pedophile, sure, they'll probably take it, but you never hear of huge, large scale trafficking bust. Even the biggest story that we've ever heard, like Epstein, that he's gone. You arrest Ghislaine Maxwell. I never saw her in a courtroom except for a sketch. But where's the customers? Where's the people where the kids were trafficked from? Why are there no other people arrested? So they don't care about that stuff. And I've talked about this with CPS, foster care, trafficking. Just think of how bad that system is. And then COVID hit, hundreds of thousands of more kids went into the system. Where do you think these kids are going? Not in the good homes.
It's sad.
Yeah, no, it's a real sad one.
That could be used for a lot.
I'm actually working on something with like a normie kind of documentary girl who's like really been digging into this CPS stuff. So we might have something coming in like a month.
All right, man. I know you gotta get going. I know I said last thing too. Just one super quick last thing. Have you still talked to Fringe? Where's Fringe?
I spoke to her like 2 weeks ago, and I just think she's doing her. I just don't think she wants the online attention like she was doing. Yeah, but as far as I know, happy with her husband working, and she got into that gold stuff. I think she still does that podcast about gold and stuff like that. But yeah, she was always awesome, man. So
shout out to Fringe Files if she comes
shout out to
across.
Fringe Files, and shout out to everybody.
Davey Crock, Jessica's in here, or one of the mods. If you could drop his link for Odyssey, he's always
Jessica's the fucking best.
Oh, of course. And I was gonna say you should try to come back, create a new YouTube. It seems like they're letting you say whatever you want right now.
I have a clips channel. I think it hit like 500 subs. I made it a few weeks ago.
Just start streaming, like double stream.
Well, what I'm gonna do is take clips from streams, try to get people to the alternatives, but also if I can do a stream where I know I'm not going to be really saying anything too extreme, I'll use Restream and go to YouTube as well. But like if I know it's a topic that's going to get struck, like I can't build another channel up to a couple of thousand subs and have it taken away. It's just I can't do it anymore. But yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on as always.
All right, man.
I love everybody in the chat except for Tommy. Fuck you, faggot. And have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Have a good night with your woman.
See ya.
Peace. It's Davey Crock. Everyone, I saw the chat shouting out Claire. Claire, you spelt it wrong. E. There's no E. Claire from New Zealand. She came on a few times. She was our friend on Instagram when we were doing the streams back on Instagram. EBT and I. Big time heavy hitter, and I think she's kind of the same as what he was talking about. Fringe Files. Anybody want to come up here? I'll throw the link out. Nobody comes up. I'll probably shut it down in like 5 minutes, but I think she just kind of wanted to step away from the attention. You get all these crazies on the internet, man. I deal with these crazies all the time. It's just like a time a waste of time when these crazies start messing with you, and then you got to do all this other stuff to like mess with them, or not mess with them, but like to deal with it and document it. And it's some people are just so gay when it comes to stuff like that. Here he is.
What's up, fellas? I heard you say something with so many people are gay, so I came right up.
What's up? What's up, NPR Tom?
NPR Tom, did you see me on Moose, or where's the last NPR Tom you saw?
I think you were on Benton, being normal. Hey, it's our boy.
No, I won't. While you're talking about beef with like EBT and shit, like there's all kinds of people you're not gonna see me on again. Like that's why I did that chat check. If you have me silenced in chat, it's like, what can someone do that you're like, oh, they must not be seen or heard? Like that's fucking stupid shit. Like you can call me meth pedo all day long. I'm not gonna mute you in chat. You guys are. Can you say the bundle of sticks word still? I don't want to ruin
anyone. Yeah, probably not. Anyone that's muting people, that's pretty lame, I think.
Well, you won't see me on Benton. He admitted he muted me, and now he's acting like he doesn't know how to fix it. Like, is that not the most autistic shit he could
guy
do?
With the admitted internet
passive aggressive avoiding. Yeah, I'd probably do this.
Is Bernard Crypto Alchemist?
Yes.
No, it's fine. It's just like, don't expect me to keep as bad as I am with names in life. And unless I've said your name and looked at your face at jobs a number of times, I'm bad with names. So don't blame me if I have to match 3 names
New
up
York's,
for each person.
Like hoodie of mine that my wife bought me. So like to act like you don't know who I am, that's hilarious. But
no, I know who Bernard is. I don't know how many of these identities you are.
All of them. No, you guys
literally is.
You guys are being rude. You're talking over a real heavy hitter. We got Cecil Drake in the house. What do you guys know about Cecil Drake?
I know that's a WWE look he's giving the camera for sure.
Let's hear some more about them blue.
Can you teach us? Can you teach us about the white people, Cecil? What can you teach us about the white
I want to hear more about the
So
blue.
you guys, hold on. You guys know what ACAB stands for, right?
ACAB?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
cops are bastards.
Yeah, well, apparently LAPD just
Like
released a
81?
response to that.
What'd they say?
All criminals are black.
That's rude.
They are a very high percentage of the criminals, I will agree.
That wasn't me. That was LAPD. All right, you can go talk to them. I don't agree with it.
Listen, I don't agree with
I would
I don't agree with LAPD beating people, but every person that's ever stuck a bang in my face was a black person. That's my experience.
Article, please. That's quite.
Don't let this woke culture tell you I can't be honest about my life. That's what happened. There has been 0 Asian people that have stuck a bang in my face. It's not saying all of anyone does anything, but
I
the
actually have a theory about that. I have a theory about that because you see, it's constantly all you hear on CNN, MSNBC all day long is about blacks versus whites and all this shit, right? And then for the people that are actually capable of thinking past that, it's the Jews, right? Or whatever, right? But like,
This is
where
why
are the Asians? I think the Asians are the ones that are actually instigating all this shit.
Hey, I'm with you. That's what I've said. You never hear no shit about like Asians and like Illuminati secrets. You don't ever hear like Asians at the top of the pyramid. There's a reason why you don't. They don't want you to hear that.
The White Lotus, the secret dragon societies, all that. Is that what we're talking about? All their hidden gold.
Yeah, they don't want you to know anything about it.
They're like,
who's running shit? It's China, right? China's running
China
shit.
got the gold and the manufacturing.
Hey, I worked for this Korean dude in a kitchen up in Seattle, and he called me a stupid round eye.
Shout to B-Rex.
Damn, how did you survive that?
He called me a stupid round eye. I was like, okay.
You were like,
damn.
I think Earl Pipe forgot that we were cool, but he can kick rocks. I'll fuck his girl.
We got, I think this is JG.
Sorry. Are we reading the chat tonight or not reading the chat? My bad.
Tommy, do you have laser eyes because you're into crypto, or what's that about? Going on the moon?
What do you mean laser eyes? Like Dr. Evil?
On your
like
profile
sharks
picture.
with laser eyes?
All we see on your profile picture is some dude with
hey man, don't worry about my profile picture the same way your background and your clothes do not define you. I thought you were asking about some crypto shit.
Yeah, I was asking, like, is that why you have laser eyes in your profile picture?
That's a filter, buddy, and those are flame eyes. That's just
Really?
the position it was in when it did the screenshot. I'd much rather be bashing on Crocko or telling Bernard about the time that he wanted to stress that I was allegedly a meth user. It was because there really were bullets flying where I was.
The chat was saying. I was just repeating what the chat was saying there.
Oh, so that's gonna be your
Oh.
YouTube stardom, is telling me what the chat said. That's how you're gonna break through this glass ceiling.
Yes, sir.
This dude's got more subscribers than he's got
100%.
more subscribers than all of us combined.
Right. And you know, when you say us combined, that ain't me. I'm a viewer that you guys think it's cool to talk shit about. Like, I come up on your little shows and I'll chat in your thing. I'm just a viewer, dude. I'm already
Tommy,
rich.
I think you'd have negative subscribers, Tommy.
No, see, that's the thing. That's like saying
rage.
That's
Meth
like saying,
rage.
huh?
It's narcissist rage.
It's not me, Tommy.
No, what are you saying?
It's the
Like, you
first
kept
I
going,
heard
that's
of
rage.
you,
Oh,
were
you were
just
saying that's
discussing
rage?
The nice hoodie my wife bought me for Valentine's Day.
Oh, God damn it, Bernard. Are you that hung up? We're not talking about you right now. I already busted on you. I'm trying to work the crowd here. God damn it. You're such an attention whore,
You are
Bernard.
not trying to be the center of attention or star of the show. Okay.
Well, I was trying to talk to the host and you were that rage. That's rage. God damn it. Do your thing, dude. Do your thing. Don't get in my way. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, take it away, Bernard. Take it away. Show us what you got at Hot Topic, Bernard. That's what the fuck I thought.
That
Jesus
Zero Cuddy is trash, man. That Zero Cuddy is trash, man. Corny as shit.
Bernard is
That's
trash.
his swag, though.
Yeah, that was the swag of like everyone in 2001 when they got out of the Matrix. When the first Matrix movie let out in the theater, they went to Hot Topic and bought that shit that Bernard is rocking in his room.
But now it's vintage, so now it's back in style after 20 years.
And it's been in that room the whole time, and he's just taken that good a care of it. Bring Crocco up. I could rip Crocco's face off right now verbally.
Crocco's busy with a woman.
You're not gonna. Yeah, that's the first lie I've ever called you on. Is that Crocco's busy with a woman?
Big time. Xerox not cool as it used to be.
I would have believed Crocco is busy with a trans woman.
No, I don't think he gets down like that.
Drew.
Then he ain't found the right trans woman.
What's up, Cecil? What's up, Cecil?
So
go to the fucking Philippines and tell me you don't get down with the trans.
Back on YouTube because they're pretty much letting you say whatever you want now. You were saying that earlier.
Yeah, is that not true or what?
It's funny. It made me think. I had a YouTube channel, right? I don't have one right now, but they shot my channel down because not because I made the statement, but because I asked the question. Like, if I think white women are the hottest women, does that make me a white supremacist? And they were like, "You're done. Goodbye."
You can't talk like that.
I like this dude.
That was like 2-3 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, it seemed like it was. There was a point where the screws were like all the way tight. Now it seems like it's really loose.
Did you guys ever hear the story of how I got banned off of Grindr?
What's Grindr?
It's a gay
That's the only right answer.
Well, I was on. Okay,
why are you on Grindr, Tommy? We know why. But
see, this is the only problem.
Website where Bernie bought his hoodie at Grindr.
Okay, do you guys want to keep adding in to stalling a funny story?
It's either a sandwich or something.
Or do you want to keep trying to make cracks when I'm already saying that I was a? Okay,
you were on Grindr. None of us.
I rarely say this. There, enslaved by truth. This is why EBT says I'm welcome anytime, because he has the respect to remember the story. Tommy had Grindr just for meth. Now, I wouldn't come on YouTube and admit that in my past I did meth without telling you. I was the only straight guy that was on Grindr specifically to find meth dealers. So,
Grindr doesn't sound very straight.
It's totally gay. It's totally gay, Cecil. Keep up, buddy. I'm going to Bernard you if you don't watch it. Now,
sorry.
So I'm using Grindr just because I don't want to walk the streets saying, you got any meth? You got any meth? Hey, are you a meth plug? Are you a meth plug? That gets sketchy as fuck. So naturally,
let me buy from some homos I don't know offline. That's more reliable.
What's that?
It's more reliable to just buy some from random homos that you don't know online.
Did you try the Social Security office?
So basically, before internet, everyone knew that gay guys had the best weed back when weed was illegal. Like, gay guys got the best weed. If you went to like a gay club or just found gay dudes that had a good dealer, you could get beasters and nugs back in the illegal days easier if you knew gay guys.
Beasters, bro. I haven't even heard of that in like 10 years, 15 years.
Yeah, Gen X, bro. Gen X.
Yeah, that's funny shit.
I actually used that at the dispensary today. The dispensary guy was offering me what he thought I might like, and I went, ooh, I like that it's in beasters. And then I acted like an old guy. I was like, that's what we called beasters back in the day. It was really funny, and he gave me a discount.
I don't know about gay guys, but Mexicans, yeah.
No, that was brick weed. See, when I was a swag lord on the East Coast, I was dishing out brick, and that was Mexican. But
so you had a gay app. Get back to the gay app.
Yeah.
You were on a gay app, but you're not gay.
To find meth dealers. To find meth. See, whenever you guys tell me I should start a channel, I'm not going to. And when I give you the money, that would be used on that channel, you don't respect it. You don't appreciate it. Except EBT does. EBT respects. Except for whenever he put me in the backstage and said a bunch of false shit, but I still love it. So yeah. So wow.
What went so bad in your life that you started doing meth? Why'd you go to meth?
I did meth by somebody tricked me into using meth when I didn't know what it was, and
slipped and fell in a bubble.
Grindr, right? The Grindr guy tricked you.
Damn.
We can sit here in silence or we can hear the story. Because JG already knows
Silence
anytime
might
he
be
steps
funnier.
up, I will have his jaw verbally. And then he runs and cries and he starts telling us why he's not homeless. But if you and El Perro can fucking his decrepit
I'm
ass.
proud to be
I guess
homeless.
Paul Unslaved's not streaming right now since El Perro's looking for attention. So anyway, yes, why it really did work for finding meth dealers and shit. But along the way, hey, you're distracting from my story, you white trash trailer
We're
looking
adding
piece
to
of
it.
shit. Okay. Yeah, he does emphasize the meth. So while I'm looking,
All
in
my teeth, homie.
okay, so while I'm finding like meth dealers, I
It's like
come across
Baraka.
this, and let me make another point about this situation that everybody should know about gay dudes. I
You
went
know
on
so much about gay dudes.
Jesus fucking Christ, you got to put the kids to bed, and I need to
Tommy.
get this story done. Do you want to sit here for hours?
Tommy, you're the biggest fucking interrupter on all these fucking panels.
But here's
And
the
then you're
thing:
crying
if
about
you
it.
talk while I'm talking, I'll stop. I'm not the interrupter. If I'm not online, you're all interrupting each other. So kick rocks with that shit. You don't even know you're on a globe, and you want to tell me I'm the only interrupter. Get fucked. Okay,
Go back to
so
Grindr,
I had no picture. My title was looking for a plug. The description in the profile said, "Hey, I understand y'all are doing your thing. I'm just looking for dealers for that go fast." I would get dick pics, offers to meet up, like everything you would want to know what a dude looks like. They're just sending me like, "Let's do it. Let's." And I'm like, dude,
This is
I
not
said I'm
something to
just
brag
here.
about, dude.
What do you mean not something to
Why
brag?
are you bragging about? When you go on Grindr and you say you're looking for a plug, I think they think that means something different. I think.
Well, plug is a hip hop.
I know
and
what
street
plug
term.
means, but I wouldn't go on a gay app to begin with. And if I did, I wouldn't be asking for a fucking plug.
Tom, you know you're a mo, right? Just for doing that, like on the street, people are gonna just pigeonhole you as a mo. Like you're just a fucking homo.
No, in your case, JG, in your case where you're on a platform where everyone's playing gotcha games to try and start jokes that follow them, no, that is not gonna peg me as a mo. And I do mean the pun, peg me as a mo.
You go to jail or prison talking like this, you're
Why would
dubbed
I
as
talk
a
like
mo.
why would I talk like this in jail or prison, you homeless motherfucker?
You're trying to dismiss
All
me
right.
because I'm homeless, man.
No,
You
you're
mad?
trying to fucking dismiss my story, and now, yeah, I'm just gonna leave this one hanging. So
I
every
don't want to
panel
hear
I'm
any
on,
more. Sorry, I don't want to hear any more homo erotic Grinder meetup stories asking for a plug. I'm not gay, I swear. I was just on Grinder. The people want Cecil. The people have spoken. Can you school us on anything tonight, Cecil?
Drew, do you remember those old commercials with Fabio? I can't believe they're not butter. It's not butter or whatever. Remember that?
Absolutely, I do.
Your teeth are so yellow. I can't believe they ain't butter.
Me? It's the filter.
Oh yeah. Okay. I see. Okay.
My teeth are okay. I mean, I could be better.
And mine are kind of crooked, but I heard Asian girls say that that's cute or something like that.
Why do they like that?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Is it true they have sideways thing? Asian girls thing goes sideways, or is that just a?
I'm sorry.
Asian girls. Have you been with an Asian girl?
Maybe they're pretty picky, or maybe she was Latin. I don't know.
Maybe.
I banged two of them.
Is it true then? JG, it's sideways.
No, it's kind of purple.
It's purple.
Oh wait, I was with a Chinese girl one time. I take that back. That was in Seattle.
Damn, they got Chinese people in Seattle too.
Dude, they got practically every type of Asian. It's like, have you ever been down to San Diego?
Hell no.
Okay, well, there are parts of Southern California that are just like entirely Hispanic, and then the Asians hang out in their own little neighborhoods, their own little cliques, right? On the other end of the coast, up in Seattle, it's like Asian people are everywhere, and the Mexicans are like in their little areas.
Yeah, they do like that, like Fast and Furious shit out there, don't they?
Oh yeah,
like they
little,
kind of have that here where I'm in Jacksonville. They kind of have there's like a little community of that, and then they all because I live by this there's like a self-serve car wash, and they all go there like Friday nights with their fucking little rice burner cars and wash that shit, and they have their people with them and everything.
Use the soy sauce for oil and shit.
Yeah,
burns right.
The Asian gangs in Philly and South Philly, they were chopping people up with fucking swords. Like straight up chopping legs off in South Philly.
I believe it. They're nuts, dude.
Yeah. I've never been off the West Coast. I mean, I'm not there now, but like I lived most of my life on the West Coast. I don't plan on going back. I don't really like it.
Where are you at right now? You don't have to say exactly, but like Midwest or where are you?
Central Oregon.
Okay. So you're still out there a little bit.
But I mean, once you get off the coast, it's like this is a pretty damn conservative area.
So it's like, much better for you.
I like it. You know, not as populated,
not as dark.
Yeah, actually, that would be a correct statement.
Okay.
I'm told that there's 3 black people in this town, and I've met 2 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Time to move.
I mean, come on, man. We gotta have a little bit of diversity. But yeah, I'm actually trying to go farther into the country. I want to check out. I've been to Boise. I want to check out Montana or Utah next.
I've
but yeah,
never been anywhere over there. I haven't been many places, unfortunately.
Where is Jacksonville?
It's very North Florida. It's almost Georgia.
Okay, yeah. Like they call it like the Panhandle or whatever.
It's not the Panhandle is like on the west coast of Florida. I'm on the east coast, so I'm right off the Atlantic. I'm not that far from the ocean. It's actually pretty nice. I've lived here like a year and a half now. So I lived my whole life in Minnesota and then moved here because of COVID and shit. So it's pretty cool, but it's also kind of a poser town. Like I said, they have there's like these little communities of like the Fast and Furious type people and shit like that. Like it's like they all want to be like California or something. It seems like.
Yeah, it seems like I know you guys like to talk about conspiracies, but it really seems like they're trying to get everybody except the drug addicted trash to move off the West Coast. Like they're actively pushing people with pricing and like everybody that can think and cares about themselves is leaving California, leaving Portland, leaving Seattle.
What do you think? What do you think the play of that is? Why would they want to only have those people remain?
Honestly, okay, so there's a couple of different things. I honestly think that they're gonna fucking do something to those people,
like a nuke or some shit like that, some weird shit.
They're saying the Russians have these like nuclear torpedoes that can cause like tidal waves now.
Okay, yeah, so like a tidal wave or something. I could see that.
A man-made tidal wave, a natural tidal wave. Maybe when freaking armies invade, they want their landing zone clear, and if it's nothing but a bunch of drug addicts, maybe they're thinking China, Russia might actually physically land, and they want their LZ cleared enough. None of them people over there are into gun ownership and freedom. They're all mostly commies anyway.
Yeah, and from what I can tell, yeah, it seems like they're all commies. And then, like you said, they priced everyone out. But then, if you are a druggie or whatever, there's the social programs to support that, right? They'll have food for you and everything.
Oh, dude, I knew homeless people up in Seattle that called it Free-addle because there's so much free shit. You can get backpacks, free needles, they'll give you anything. And they try to claim it's so like, okay, well, if you're homeless, that it can help you get up off the street and get a job and get your life started again. But there's plenty of people that never go that far. And they're just like, fuck it, I'm just going to be homeless. Just give me my Social Security money. I'm just going to live on the street, do drugs, and I don't care. And
there's no reason, if you have the incentives, there's no reason for you to go get a job.
Well, I mean, unless you're like me, I like to work. I like having, like, self-esteem and being sober and stuff like that, But yeah, anyway, yeah.
JG, have you ever thought about going to the West Coast? JG's living on the streets right now.
I was out there. I was out in Santa Cruz, San Jose. I was skating out there. Santa Cruz is bad, man. It's all tweakers, all junkies. Like, you're biking around, just dudes are staring you down. All types of madness going down there.
Did you get any of those, like, government support when you were out there?
No. I actually helped frame a house out there. I was doing construction, and before that I was doing Uber Eats and DoorDash. Then I found work in Tracy, California, which is like just like a big Hispanic area. Tracy, California.
I've heard it's beautiful out there. I just never had any urge to get out there because of all the other stuff that I hear about it.
I mean, I don't know if you've heard, but I mean, they actually pass a law down in California that if you get caught stealing something and it's under a certain amount of money, they won't even try to prosecute you.
Yeah, it's like if it's under a felony, right? Under 500 or something, you could steal a lot of shit.
I have a couple of friends from high school that live down there that were like self-employed business owners. The governor is like extra taxes for them, and like, yeah, they're trying to get everybody that knows how to wipe their own ass out of those states for some reason. What it is, we'll never know until it actually goes down, I guess.
Right, like the sanctuary cities. It's like you're talking about, and that literally there's these crime waves now that corporations are having to shut down because there's just so much robbery and they're not prosecuting it and they're just letting it all off. That it's absolute anarchy and insanity.
Okay, so I was a DoorDasher up in Seattle for a little while, right? Every single day I went to, there was at least one shop that I went to that had a window busted out. And I would ask the shop owners, I was like, what's going on? It was always the same story. It was somebody with a mask, and the police say they can't do anything about it because mental health.
Damn.
I mean, like, why would somebody with a family want to live in a place like this? It makes no sense.
So they're all going to what? Texas and Florida then, I think, right?
Well, if you look at the population growth charts, actually, all the states that are one over from the coastal states, so what is that? Montana, Idaho, Nevada, Arizona, they're all getting population growth, which tells me that people are leaving the West Coast any way they can. Walking, car, yeah, some of them are going over to Texas and some other states, but yeah, people are leaving.
Right. Well, apparently the founder of Cash App got stabbed to death in San Francisco. Like, what is that? Was that like
that was a
random,
new
meth addict attack, or was that actually targeted? What
I saw that story. That? I didn't read it. I just saw the headline that he got attacked on the street, basically.
What is Cash App? I gotta get myself an account. A lot of people using it now, but apparently it's like a connection for money and crypto.
So you don't have
onboarding to banks. That's a huge thing for crypto.
Yeah, Cash App is big time, bro. You got to have one. What's up, Pink? I didn't know who you were backstage, but now I recognize you from the other night. You were over on Truth to Cop.
Yeah, I had to make a different account. I was on my business account, but here I am. Thank you for having me. Wanted to touch base with everyone. Definitely on spot with this whole homeless situation, especially in California. And if you look at all these blue states, this is where it's definitely going. You look at like Chicago and you look at New York, and I know Chicago is not a state, but it's also like you have these districts that are basically they have tons of services and resources that allow individuals to get into the program. It's bothersome to think that they have all of these programs, just tons of money being thrown at this, but yet there's no solution to the problem whatsoever. It's because there's more money to make the problem persist than it is to actually end it. If you look at just how Los Angeles is, we have this thing in Southern California, which is beautiful weather. That's one of the main attractants. We also have these enabling societies and communities where very gratuitous giving money at the corner where people are just like holding up a sign. It's desperate times, and it's getting a little crazy, and people need to realize that it's gonna get a lot worse before it gets better. And it's a tough thing. Look at Slab City in California. They have their own little city that's pretty much governed by them. And that's where it's going. There is a huge community in Southern California down in the Santa Ana riverbed that got pushed out a couple years ago, pre-COVID. And it was a mass push out of like 2,000 people just in the riverbed. The catch is, it was right within the tourist district of Orange County. And just a couple miles down the street, what did you have? You had Angel Stadium, you had the Honda Center, you had Disney. And the Mouse was one of the, can I say this on the YouTube? The Mouse was majority of the funding where it was coming to, where it was pushing the OC sheriffs to get involved, and the DA, who was Tom Spitzer at the time, to really give that mass push out. And what it did is it was literally kicking the can down the road. They got hotels and motels. They purchased out through the state. They gave out these little coupons, these vouchers that these individuals on the riverbed could go to transition into proper services and resources. But it didn't quite work because they didn't have the manpower. What they did is they actually got the people off the riverbed and they put them over here. And then they were able to clean out the rest of it. They had them put all of their individual items that they've collected, driver's license, like whatever, all their belongings, into these massive steel, trying to think of it, these cartons that they basically moved far away in Tustin. So they don't have transportation. They could ride their bike up there, I guess, within the day. They can get a bus. They can probably call for Uber. There's probably other ways that they could have done it, but you got to think about doing this on the day in, day out in order to get your property from these I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank here.
Socialism in America, basically.
What's that?
Is it like socialism in America, or like communism?
Sounds like it.
No,
Sounds like we had those people there was people the other night calling in from, I think, Sweden or Switzerland. I think Sweden, where they were saying it's hard for them to get a job because the government makes it so hard, because the government would rather keep you on that small little dole and just keep paying you
like
out.
the universal basic income or whatever the heck.
If you want to be a homeless, drug addicted piece of shit, they'll take care of you. No need to get a job or anything.
Yeah. I mean, California will take care of you to an extent, and then they leave it really up to the individual. But when you get to a certain point, if anyone's ever been on like welfare or EBT or anything like that, they have a cap. They do, and it's just right underneath making minimum wage. But if you make minimum wage, you're that's it. You
Hold
lose
on one
benefits.
second. 1 second. You said EBT. Is that like a government program in the U.S.? I'm Canadian.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
All right.
Yes.
I just
Yes,
got
it's
this
very
EBT
much.
joke
You get a
that now
card.
makes so much more sense. It's fucking hilarious.
They give you a visa. You know, I'm sure it's
Electronic
backed.
benefits transfer.
Yeah, I'm sure it's backed by the federal government because that's where it comes from.
Extra beta training.
But you gotta get this card, and then you have access to cash if you qualify for certain things, and you also have access to regular food stamps. Now, aside with statistics, the majority of people that use EBT are actually white people. Surprise to you, right? So we all definitely need this program, but it's also we're allowing it to become too accessible. Yet at a certain point, you can't reach a certain caliber because you lose all your resources. We've really kind of painted ourselves in a corner here. The only way to really fix the poverty problem is to kind of have set aside land. And you guys kind of touched on it with having an island for the true needs to go to. But what if you had an island, a place of where they can sign off, take cruise ships, which people are already taking.
And then bomb them?
No.
The ship torpedo? No.
But I mean, you give them a set of land that they can go do their thing. You look at Slab City, there you go. You know, that's basically in the desert right next to a bomb field, and there are people that are called scrappers that go out to that bomb field that every once in a while you hear a boom, and you're like, oh, Johnny was out today. Oh, not anymore. He's all over the place. But,
do you know the history of Slab City? Do you know why it's there?
I believe it was because of tourism, right? Like it
was originally those slabs there.
The slabs, yeah.
It was a desert training base. I think Patton built it for tank training or something like that out there.
Yeah, they did a lot of bomb testing. This is why you have the scrappers that are going out there and they get this material and they're able to make whatever little money. There are other communities around the world and around the United States that do this, but to compare it to another system, not to Canada, our closest relative, but let's go across the seas. Let's go to Japan. You have Japan here where 99% of the homeless population is male. Here, it's a mixture. You have male, female, and even children. Personally, I feel that you got to get the female and the children off the streets. It's our civil and ethical duty to take care of that. Just as in Japan, they have a process which actually helps those individuals get back up on their feet. It's a tier system. You start very small, no questions asked going into a place. You have a very small closet and you can lay down on the floor. That's it. Okay, at least it's a place to put your head. No questions asked. From there, if you want to get better, you then have a worker that you are talking to, and they get you another tier up the system. And this time, the place is a little bit bigger, and you have a communal bathroom. And then you got to get a job. Once you get a job, it's like it keeps helping you, and it's solving the problem. Japan has a great way of taking care of its homeless, but most of the people in Japan...
Russia also just did this like new settlement of Siberia thing where they gave everybody a bunch of land to go clear, and it's essentially like how the west of like the US and Canada were originally settled, but just giving settlers land, and that by including social programs that treat drug addicts and stuff like that, get them off the streets and dependencies, and then instead give them like land and resources to build a life for themselves away from the source of all the drugs. It might work.
Yeah. And you know what? In California, the perfect place, and I'm so sorry if anyone's from there right now because I don't mean to kind of like dox you. Lancaster and Palmdale area, right there. Open desert, open area. What you do is you create a facility. You have it where people are able to go over there and kind of detox. And then from there, you have agriculture, you have trades, you have other means of creating fruit. And with fruit and food, you can then help out with the other soup kitchens that are down here, or even make a profit. I mean, there's ways that you can kind of twist this, but you got to start by taking care of the females, and you got to take care of the children. There's a lot of mental illness. There's a lot of drug addiction. There's a lot of these other different walks of life that are out there. Some people just don't want to abide by society's rules. Sorry. You know, I think we just got to get to that point where it's like it's a cancer that we're funding consistently that's hurting our system that we can easily fix with a little bit of
homeless people. So, but like you said,
no, the cancer is the politicians that are in line right now. Doing this kind of like documentary filmmaking. I was doing this thing on the riverbed. It was the politicians that gave me the most pushback. It was the ACLU that gave me the most pushback. It wasn't the homeless people. They took me in. I don't mean to say homeless people, but it was the community that embraced me. Okay,
Tommy,
they gave me.
What am I? Hold on. Yeah, what are you getting a feedback from me for?
Because are you playing it on? Hold on,
no, that's what I'm saying. I think I had my hand cupped over the phone weird or something. Let him talk again.
I feel like I'm talking to a stadium of people.
I want to hear what Tommy's got to say about the homeless people.
Well, no, everything. Here's the thing, and the reason I lean into the gay meth pedo stuff is so people don't feel bad when they feel stupid around me. Because you guys shouldn't.
You were one of them, correct?
No, but between this guy that's been doing the Fox News roll on us and Bernard being Mr.
Alex
Crypto. Yeah. I don't know why you guys aren't up on my level. Like, everything you're saying is happening, but it's not about this government theater. Like, our freedom is done. CBDC is the mark of the beast money without the tattoo. Everything is going to be UBI. You're going to be off the street. You'll get UBI. And if you are making videos on YouTube with words and you don't say the words they agree with, you have no UBI. You have no bus ride. You have no Uber access. Like, let me go full tinfoil hat because there's a whole other branch of YouTube that has already covered this stuff.
Can I interject real quick?
Tell me about the politicians that are theater, bro.
Okay, actually, I'm going to go off on a different way. Have you ever heard of the Venus Project?
Yes, but you're still a Sharpie right now. Even the chat that doesn't like me, they got Sharpie vibes.
Yeah, so okay. The
Sharpie's not a compliment. I'm calling you a moron.
So the Venus Project basically creates a symbiotic society in
we
which
know Jack Talcott. We all know the Venus Project.
It's not Jack Pell. It's Jacques Fresco. Okay, it's Jacques Fresco. So, I mean, do your little research before you start insulting
Jack
me,
Talcott is the other guy pushing the Venus Project on these people you're talking to.
So it was Jacques Fresco who created the Venus Project. And with that being said, he was creating a symbiotic society in which everyone would be an instant gratification and convenience. If a thing broke, then maybe someone would just have the instigation to fix it because then life would be such a trial without it.
That is not what he said. You can't even get Jacques Fresco's Venus Project right. Are you from MSNBC? Are you from fucking MSNBC right now? We can hear it in your voice.
It's Alex Stein. I'm convinced.
I wanted to say something because you were talking about over in Japan, right?
Take it away.
I don't know if this is true, but if you have to go on unemployment in Japan, in order for you to qualify, they give you they go, okay, we're gonna give you free government money, but then they go and they give you like these super embarrassing jobs, like handing out flyers in public, like, hi, I'm on unemployment, I don't want to get a job. sign this petition, please. And like everybody laughs at your ass, and they basically
Like they're trying to shame you. People in
Yeah.
America have no shame though.
And the flyer
we
just
give out
says,
free
like,
money
I'm
too,
busted.
though. We give out free money too. I mean, look at you know, what's happening up in San Francisco right now, where what is it, like $200 million? Is it more? $200
public
billion?
defecation.
Okay, Pink.
No, that's
let me repose, Pink. Let's be serious. Do you
Okay.
understand? Do you understand the central banking, like just the central banking worldwide Ponzi
Yeah.
scheme? Like
Oh, yeah,
your bank,
very much so.
Japan's bank, China's bank, it's all the same central bank. So
yeah.
now
we're,
on
we're
that
falling on
point-
our own sword right now.
Okay, now who do governments answer to? Like whenever Reagan was
The
giving
banks.
a speech and a guy came up behind him and said, "Hey, let's wrap this up to the leader of the free world." Yeah, banks. So why
Who
are
runs
we
the
sitting
banks?
here talking about elections and how socialism is in one country compared to another country? It is the central banking ICO 200 2022 switch off cash. Like this is the most epic change that's coming. Oh, are you worried about if elections matter? Oh, don't worry. Nothing will matter when your money is a transparent ledger controlled by the Federal Reserve. Like we are weeks away from that.
I'll play along. Let's get rid of the Federal Reserve. What do we do?
How the fuck do you do that if that's the king of the world we're talking about?
Let's get rid of it. Hypothetically, let's just get rid of it. What do we go back to? We go back to a system where it's
what you're
trades,
saying,
it's barters, it's
no, listen. Okay, I get what you're saying. So here's what it is. There is this crypto system. When I say that transparent ledger, that would technically be the utopia idea that people are saying Bitcoin is, but it's the Federal Reserve that has like gotten their fingers into that, because I don't want to say this is how it went down, but no matter what you create, how can the Federal Reserve not just propose to Clinton you? You know,
let's say tomorrow we have this big thing that crashes all the banks, okay? Everyone's money that's locked up digitally is gone. This means crypto, this means what's in your account. All you have is what's, in your hand physically.
No, it doesn't mean crypto.
Well, you're done. What do? The money right there is now kindling. The money is kindling at that point. What are you going to do? When the shit hits the fan, what are you going to do? Right now, everyone has to basically bend over the barrel and take it. That's what we've been doing for years. But certain years, they give us a little bit more lubrication.
No, see, you've just rolled on to your false. You started out with your bullshit, and now you're stacking on it before you've let me reply. Now, listen, this thing you're talking about what do you do? This is the event that's coming. The same way they locked you up to try and get you to get a jab, there's going to be a situation that's going to make everyone go, please do something about this. And that's how they're going to switch you to digital money off of cash. Like the same way you wouldn't have thought that you'd sit in your house for over a year because and people were like, get me out of my house, give me the jab, just get me back to work. What do you think they're going to do to make you say, give us cash, let's just get back to it, or get us off cash, give us
Okay. No, that's fine.
I'm not trying to be animosity toward you. These people you're talking to, they've been calling me a gay pedo meth for weeks, and I'm trying to tell them what I'm telling you.
Don't let that bring you down.
Oh, it doesn't. I'm a great meth pedo faggot.
Can I just interject something here real quick?
Please do. Please. We're at the Cecil show here.
Yeah, you don't even know where Jacksonville is, heavy hitter.
There's people's natural inclination in that situation to describe it. There's always going to be black markets. There's a black market right now out in my parking lot.
No, but what are you going to pay for? How are you going to pay the black market?
Barter.
Cash, right? Cash.
No, barter.
Okay, so you just have the shit in your house to sustain yourself the rest of your life off of trade.
Well, no, I'm gonna have a skill and I produce something with my
I
skill.
respect that. I respect that. And with your skill, you will make a digital currency that might not work on Second Amendment things anymore. And they didn't take your rights. They just said your money doesn't work on Second Amendment
I
things.
don't know what that means, bro. I mean,
You don't know what Second Amendment things are? And you're the heavy hitter?
Kind of have a run-on sentence there. I mean,
No, this is what I was talking about. Don't worry,
really
dude. I'm
hard,
gay meth
man.
pedo. Hey, I'm gay meth pedo, dude. Calm down. It's
Yeah, I
cool.
know, you're
I'm just
Why
gay
do
meth
you keep
really
saying
pedo.
hard.
why do you keep saying pedo? We said gay.
Yeah.
Because you don't keep up with these streets. These streets
Hey,
say I'm a pedo.
Tommy,
too.
let
Why would
me
you
let
lean
me
into
ask you
that?
something about these sex dolls in Japan. You want to talk about
The
that?
ones that can get pregnant?
No. Well, I didn't know about that one.
That's
but
okay. You know that they want us all to be produced in baby factories, right?
Well, I did just get done doing a little job in a hospital where they actually train people for pregnancy, and they have these $60,000 type of dummies that actually regurgitate, they poop, they have all the bodily functions, but there's also a pregnant one where there's a baby, and you can never seen that in all my life, but it really made me think that Skynet is not so far. But getting
Drew,
back
go
to
ahead
these
and try and Google this.
sex dolls,
Yeah, no, dude. What I'm
in
telling
Japan,
you,
I will.
think of it.
I mean, I might take my own personal time, but
No,
these
to
sex
think.
dolls that these sex dolls
No,
that are
I think it is
in
Japan that's claiming they have the sex robot that you do impregnate, like you shoot.
Well, I was
your
talking
sperm.
about the one where they're kind of like drawing the line at kids. You know, like no kid sex dolls. They can have everything, all that, but kids, that's, you know, they draw the line at that. But it's also kind of on the fence.
Okay, NBC, give me a chance. I heard that the kids' sex dolls were to like, hey, if you're gonna be pedo, at
we're not
least
even
do the
talk
kids'
about
sex
that.
doll.
We're gonna squash all pedo talk.
Great, awesome.
But
Can
I
we
did
talk?
look up. Hold on, I did look up the pregnant ones, and I
That
can't
is
even.
valid, though,
I can't
Pink.
even bring up the images on it because they're all pretty crazy looking. So
that's.
Shout out to StreamYard for keeping everyone safe.
So you guys are really adamant about your rights to communicate with your fellow man, and as long as it doesn't demonetize us.
No. I mean,
what are you talking about? I'm talking about. I don't want to hear about that. It's fucking dumb.
But it's,
well, we're talking about it because you don't want it to happen, don't you? Because I watched you and Crocko sit here and just go, "Oh, that's sad. That's sad that in America we're not doing anything about child trafficking. We're just gonna sit here and act bummed."
Ukraine does it all the time, but we're doing it too. So,
Ukraine is where the Nazis are, dude.
I don't need a wife in there.
Why are you defending?
Defending what?
Predators.
Oh, how am I defending predators?
Have you heard about the?
No, we're gonna stay on the defending predators.
Hey,
here.
Cecil, you look in pain, but your face is killing me.
In Germany,
right. Cecil's the star of the show. Everyone wants to hear Cecil.
Okay, so I mentioned before that I was door dashing up in Seattle, right? And so there's this street, it's called Aurora Boulevard, and the police let prostitutes just walk, right? They don't stop them. In fact, I think somebody mentioned there's a law that allows them. It's almost like a Vegas like situation there, right? So I'm sitting there at Taco Bell one night and I'm watching these girls walk back and forth. And I notice that like the police, every single damn one of them knows where to get hard drugs, by the way. So we're talking about drug dealing prostitutes here, okay? The police will bust the people that go to them, but they will let them walk away. So it's like a perpetual revenue for the police, right? When they totally
do the police like fuck with them too? Like, I mean, like take like favors from them.
Oh yeah.
That makes sense.
It's probably getting paid, right? They're probably getting paid from these people.
I'm sorry.
The cops pay them, you think?
The cops are getting paid. These crooked cops are getting paid. Like the prostitutes, these drug dealers, they're fucking giving money to the police.
Well, maybe not, but I mean, it's like basically a cop's freaking wet dream. It's like, I don't need to work. I can just go over here and bust people all day long. I've seen it before down in California, where they'll let a drug house operate and just bust the people that go there. Right? If you bust the drug house, then you can. Drug houses create drug users. If you bust a drug house, you won't have perps to bust anymore, right? Anyway, so I'm sitting there watching this situation or whatever, but like, I don't really want to elaborate about how I know about this, but they already have like sex bots that they're field testing sex bots right now. I mean, I'm talking like life, like
you know this. You don't have to say how you know it. You just know it.
Yeah. I don't really want to elaborate, but
yeah, you don't have to.
Okay, as long as we're clear on that.
All right. So,
yeah,
they're testing them out though. And have you heard good reviews?
It's kind of scary, dude. Like, it's good. Yeah.
Can they make you a sandwich though? That's what I want to know.
Well, one thing is for sure, we're talking like you cannot, like, I happened to find out by accident, but these things are like Terminator level. You cannot differentiate them from human beings. It almost makes me think that like somebody is controlling them via virtual reality somewhere, like this, like I don't know if you've heard about like sleeves or whatever. It's like a freaking human. It's a Terminator that looks human, but somebody is like basically in that, being connected to it through virtual reality and like living
in like a haptic skin suit type thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Do they have microphones in them?
I would assume so.
How do you clean them out when you're done?
Yeah, I don't want to go this far because I don't want to be like disappeared or anything. And this is just a theory of mine, by the way. I'm just saying,
turkey.
Like,
you have a turkey baster of hot water. You got that, how to clean it out. Is it self-cleaning? See, until it's self-cleaning, no one's gonna mess with it, I think. But what do I know? It's my guess.
Salt and vinegar. But yeah,
that's the future career. When you want to be homeless and living on the street and get government programs, you're going to have to be a sex bot cleaner.
A servant, yeah.
You're going to be the one disinfecting them.
It's going to be like Jiffy Lube for like sex bots.
What's up, JG?
Drew, look up Vic DiBitetto. That's
Is it me? Am I buzzing? Is this shitty mic I have?
Look up Vic DiBitetto. That's this guy's doppelganger.
Look up what?
Look up VIC DiBitetto. DIBETTO. I think it's DiBitetto or DiBitetto.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Come on, man.
Damn it, I was muted. I said I think you are much more handsome, Cecil. He might be funnier than you though, but
yeah.
Comedian.
Probably couldn't guess my race.
Are you a Nubian princess?
Chinese.
Is that me buzzing, dude? It's driving me crazy. I can't figure out where the buzzing's coming from.
I hope it's not me.
I muted you when you were talking, and it kept going. I muted JG when he was talking, and it kept going. I think it's this new mic I have. I don't know.
Premium Chinese
Where are
equipment.
we at? It's 1 o'clock. I'm gonna shut it down. Thanks for being here, Cecil. 2 hours. That's plenty. JG held it down. David Crock, go follow him on Odyssey. Shout out to everyone that was in the chat. Appreciate your time. And peace out.
Go take a shit.
I will.